Well, Aries, I'm back. It's Didici here from astrology.com.au. To my regulars, it's great to have your evolving company. To those who are new, welcome to our Oracle Express, where I'm going to be taking a quick look, and I'm going to animate the wheel of time for you now to have a look at karma and how it's impacting you throughout the month of September 2022. Let me get my eyes on. Oh, there you are. Let's take a look at this. It's an important month here. A couple of big transits that we see here. I've got my list here, and I want to talk about that. On the 5th, Venus moves here into this 6th house of Virgo, and that's going to become even more important later in the month, and I'll tell you that little secret later. Venus has to do with your relationships, your love life, because it rules this 7th house of partnerships. You see Mercury, the planet of communication, also in that area. So there's a dominant theme here having to do with your relationships and possibly the health and well-being of some loved one, because this 6th house also happens to be the place of privation, isolation, retreat, and sometimes has to do with hospitals as well. So there it is there on the 6th, 5th and 6th, Venus moves into this area, and actually the sign of Virgo is not the best place for Venus to be. So it weakens the overall power of that planet, hence the overall, I guess, well-being of your partner, business partnerships, that sort of thing. The 6th house is also to do with health issues and debts. And that is obviously tied in with your past actions. This life, previous lives, if you believe in the doctrine of karma. The moon is full there on the 10th in the 12th house to you, 12th house. So both you and your partner are going through this 12th house. It's a spiritual house. If you understand exactly how, look at the moon there with Neptune again, the spiritual planet, retrograde right now, in between Jupiter, 12th ruler. This is a very strong, dominant spiritual theme for you, and one that may also impact your health. So you and your partner may be going through those sort of transits in a way that purges your karma through the physical means, through health issues, through purging financial and time resources to other people. So it's really payback time right now. The 11th, we have the sun. We've missed that. The sun is in a trine to Uranus, so sudden and abrupt creative opportunities at that time. 17th, the sun is in opposition to Neptune. There it is. You can see it getting stronger and stronger. Again, that 6th house, 12th house theme playing out, all to do with your karmic debts, but your health, your financial debts, your well-being. It's time for you to maybe look at how you can improve that part of your life. You see the Moon-Mars combination in the 3rd house, very, very dynamic transit there. It can activate the moon and your emotions. On the 23rd, well, the 19th, Mercury makes an opposition to Jupiter there. So you have to be careful of the way you deal with the Moon-Mars conjunction, because Mercury's communication, Jupiter expands and accentuates, exaggerates the situation. Again, this is along the 1-7 axis. This is yourself, the people you do business with, your principal relationships. And so that is particularly important. Please note the retrogression of Mercury. Let me have a look at when that, I think that's there even at the outset of the month. You can see it's retrogressing back into this 6th house, and that happens just before the sun moves into that 7th house. And I mentioned earlier this sign of Virgo and all this 6th house energy that's playing out during the month of September is augmented by the moon transiting through here, making that conjunction with Venus, Mercury moving back into the 6th house there on the 23rd. And then on the 26th, the moon will be carrying all of this energy to produce a new moon in your 7th house. Now, I think what this tells you is that, because this 6th house is also how you do your work, the manner in which you work, the manner in which you offer your services and you perfect the work that you do. There's the new moon there on the 26th. bringing with it all of that energy of service, quality work. But isn't it interesting that it's in your 7th house? So I think there's a dynamic shift here. The new moon is always about changing gear, moving into a whole new chapter and methodology. And so it's possibly reevaluating the way that you relate to your loved one, the way you serve them, the way you help them, the way you are there as a support for them during this time. And that's also indicated by Mercury retrogressing back out of that 7th house into the 6th house of service. Then you'll see Venus on the 29th moving into that 7th house as well. This is the dominant area, the 6-12 axis, the 1-7 axis seems to be playing out very, very strongly. You'll also notice here that Mars 1, 2, 3 has its full square aspect to that retrograde Mercury there. So that's very, very challenging in terms of your communication style and breaking through new ground in that area of service to the one you love. Don't forget to pop over to astrology.com.au. I always mention at the end of the reading, you will find more on what's happening this month there, the chronological aspects that can fill in the gaps that I've left out here. Please subscribe, tell your friends, drop me a note, and by all means, don't forget, I'm always available there to give you a hand if you want a personal reading. I'll see you next month. Take care now.